Alright guys, we're gonna get in here and pull this chain guard off. Got 2 screws, 5mm. Pop those things out. Get my gloves on because this is going to be a nasty, nasty job. I recommend putting something down. I've got a little piece of plastic down. I'm going to do this at my house today instead of the shop. I'm taking the bike in for service on Monday, so I'll probably just get up and ride it straight there before I go to work. Alright, let's get into this. Take these 2 out and get this chain guard off where we've got access. Okay. Alright, now that we've got the majority of the chain exposed, what we want to do is clean it really well. And the reason I want to go ahead and clean this chain, even though it's new, is I've been riding during the winter months, and off and on we would get snow. It would be 70 degrees and then 30 degrees, sunny one day, snowing the next. And they were constantly salting the roads, and I couldn't stay off of them. So what I'm going to do is clean this chain to get all the salt and debris out of it. That way it doesn't corrode, and it'll give it a longer life. Now, let's do something a little controversial. This is what I'm going to use right here. WD-40. Now, I'm not doing this for lubricant. I'm doing this to clean the chain. There's a big difference. This is basically kerosene in a bottle, okay? You can look up the material safety data sheets on it, the active ingredients, and basically it's kerosene in a spray can. It's been shown and proven where it's not going to ruin your O-rings. We're not using this as lubricant. We're just using this to displace any contaminants, the old grease, the salt, to get it out of the chain. And then we're going to go back and use a proper chain lubricant that is suitable for O-rings and is approved for use on motorcycles. Alright, let's go ahead and clean this thing up. Basically, I'm just going to soak her down here. Really don't want to get all this on the wheels too bad, so I'm trying to spray fairly accurately. I'm just rotating the wheel around. I'm going to soak this thing down really well, get everything nice and loosened up. That's what WD is good for, breaking up grease. It is a solvent. It's a weaker solvent. Now, a couple things you don't want to put on here are gasoline and brake cleaner. That will destroy your O-rings in no time. But WD-40 is completely safe. Now, I'm going to take a chain brush. This is grunge brush. And I'm going to hold it right here. And again, just rotate my wheel. I'm just going to brush this chain up, just like this. Okay, now we're going to do the top side. Nothing hard about this, guys. If you want to take care of your motorcycle yourself without having to pay a dealership, this is something you need to learn how to do. You will thank yourself in the long run. The more you can do on your own, the better you'll be, the more money you're going to save, and the satisfaction you're going to get. Now, after I've done a quick brush over of the chain, be careful not to get your hand pinched in between the sprockets. So do this from the top side and roll the wheel forward just like this. So we're just going to get off a lot of the contaminants here. You can see getting a lot of the old grease off of it. I don't know if you can tell really well, but the chain is almost perfectly silver again, which is good. It's what we want. Now we're going to do this one more time, and we're going to brush the top side, the inside of the chain. Okay, let's coat this bad boy down a little more. And you don't have to put a ton of this stuff on the chain. Just want to make sure you get enough on each link, just so it helps to loosen everything up. There we go. And do this on a warm bike after you've ridden, because everything comes off way easier. Now, we're going to do this right here. We have a fair amount of tension, but nothing that's too overbearing on the chain itself. Just enough so it runs to the bristles. Okay. Got that. We'll take our rag once again. Put my hand on the bottom here. Then after this, we're going to go and clean all the sprockets. Oh yeah. Get that thing. Got a lot of gunk and grease. And you don't want to do this before you ride. Do it afterwards. That way your chain lube has enough time to soak in and set up, and it won't just spray all over and get your bike completely filthy. I see a lot of people complaining about their bikes and putting chain lube on, and complaining that a product just absolutely covers the bike and whatever product they're using. It's because they're not applying it properly. They're either putting too much or they're riding immediately afterwards, and you don't want to do that. So we're getting a ton off this chain. That's good. It's great. It's looking really good. Okay. Just gonna wipe off all the old grease that's gotten on everything from the factory. Alright, yeah, this looks great. A little bit up here. Get that old grease off the bike. And what I'm doing is just making sure I get the majority of all the WD off. Like I said, it's not going to hurt the O-rings, not at all. I mean, when we go to put the regular lubricant on here, it's going to soak in like it's supposed to, and everything's going to be protected and good to go. But you just want to keep doing that, wiping everything down until you can turn the chain and you don't see any runny residue from where we sprayed the cleaner, the WD-40. Or if you go and buy a chain-specific cleaner, that's fine too. I like WD-40 because it's cheap and it works very well, and it's not harmful at all. That, and I can use it on multiple projects, not just for cleaning chains. Okay. We'll spin the wheel around here. Okay, see, we can see now that the chain's basically leaving nothing at all. Looks really good and clean. I'm going to get the inside of the rollers down here real fast. Right. And one more time up here. Clean the sprocket. And this doesn't take long at all. Okay, now I'm going to go get our chain lube and we're going to apply that and we'll be finished. Be right back. Okay, I've got our chain lube. And what I've got here is something that I normally don't use, but I'm going to try it. That's the Lucas chain lube. And it does say that it is O-ring safe for use on all type chains, including O-rings. Keep O-rings moist and pliable and resist drying. So this is good. Basically, the instructions for this are pretty simple. It says spray it on, let it sit, let it soak in, and that's about it. Nothing to it. So shake can well, apply on warm chain while rotating wheel, allow a few minutes after application for full penetration. And I'm going to apply this and then the bike's going to sit here probably until tomorrow. I'm not going to get to ride anymore today. So we're just going to shake this thing up real well. Oh, shake. Okay, give you guys a close up here so you can see what it looks like. You see how it just goes right into the chain? This is good stuff, it looks like. What I normally use is the Liquid Wrench 711 chain lube. And that stuff is really, really nice. It used to be kind of sucky, but they've improved the formula of it. And what we want to do is make sure we get right in the middle here. Okay? And then we're going to go around and get the outer edges, because that's where your O-rings are at. I used to use a product called Spectro back in the day on all my dirt bikes. And that stuff is excellent chain lube. But it's kind of pricey, and I don't know of any stores here that actually carry it, and I'm a little disappointed. I'm sure I can order it, like everything else. Okay. Interesting. Well, and the chain, it's got a nice, nice looking coat to it. I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes, and then I'm going to touch it and see what I think about the tackiness. Let's see where it's ran right here, what I think here. Oh man, that is some slick stuff. That's nice. Not much of an odor at all either. That's nice. Real nice. And that's one reason why I wear gloves a lot. Keep that grease, so like WD-40 and kerosene. If you use kerosene to clean, that's fine. You could use one of these brushes with a little jar of kerosene and dip it in and then do your cleaning that way. Kerosene is excellent for cleaning chains, but the smell stays with you for a while. I mean, wear old clothes or definitely wear gloves because it'll soak in, and if you're married or have a wife or girlfriend like mine, you'll never hear the end of it if you smell like gasoline or kerosene for the rest of the evening. I don't know why they tend to frown upon that. Probably wipe the sprocket down here in a second, and then I'm going to go around, make sure I didn't get anything on my wheels. I don't want any kind of lubricant, oil, grease on my tires and wheels. That could be bad accident. So just make sure you clean up, get your plastic and sheeting out. Wheel stand definitely makes this much easier. You can do it without a wheel stand, but you have to clean a section, roll the bike, clean a section. Get a real wheel stand if you want to do any maintenance on your own vehicle. You'll be glad you did. It's super simple to put the bike up and down even by yourself. I have no trouble at all. You just have to be careful, balance the bike, and do everything the way you're supposed to. Take your time, don't get in a hurry. Alright, that's soaked in. Wow, that is super slick. Alright, I'm going to do one more rotate on it, shake the can a little more, just to make sure we get enough lubricant back in the chain. from where we used the WD or the other cleaner if you're going to use something different. We displaced everything out of the chain. Now we have to make sure we get it soaked back. Alright. I am happy with that. That reminds me of the old DuPont chain lube that they no longer sell anymore. It dried on really, really nice. Didn't make a big mess. See, I've got some runs here. You can see the grease and all still coming out. I'm glad I sprayed more lubricant on there. I'm just trying to clean my sprocket up there. Don't want to leave a lot of loose runny stuff to get slung all over the place. A little bit of splatter on the muffler there, wipe that off so it doesn't smoke like a freight train. Okay, let's double check, make sure we didn't get anything on the tires. A little bit right there. Alright, we're going to put the chain guard back on now. Pretty happy with the way it looks and the way it feels. Okay, there we go. Now, if you guys have watched enough of my videos, you'll see that I really like using these impact drivers. You have to be extremely careful using these, especially on plastics or things like that. Pay attention when you're watching my videos. When I use these, normally you'll just hear it pop up and that's it. As soon as it ratchets or hammers 1 to 2 times, I'm done, that's it. I think the torque on this is, I want to say 40 foot-pounds is what it'll go to. Plastic products can't do it. Can't take that much. I mean, this thing is strong enough that I could torque out the motor mounts from where I put on the frame sliders. When it comes to stuff like that, I do use a torque wrench. That's really important that you don't over tighten things. Just be careful with whatever kind of tools you use. If you've never used the impact driver before, practice with it before you just straight go working on your vehicle and you break a bolt, ream a head off. I don't want to get hate mail from you guys trying to emulate what I've done and then having to have a bolt drilled out of your bike because you applied too much torque. Just be really careful with whatever tools you decide to use. Man, that stuff's drying pretty quick. Let's clean this sprocket off a little more. Alright guys, that's how you clean and lube a chain. Nothing to it at all. Wheel stand makes it go even faster if you've got one. Take that chain guard off to give you plenty of room to work, so you don't have to try to work down here under the swing arm. You have this area right here. It's a lot easier to see and get to. That's it. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below. Just remember, do not lube with this. Do not lube with WD-40. Cleaning is perfectly fine. It's well accepted in many circles that using WD-40 to clean chains is absolutely suitable. Just make sure that you wipe everything down, you get it out before you apply a chain lube. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Ride safe.